WVW Broadcast Network is pleased to present House to House with your hosts, Brannon and Melissa K. Howse. From cooking, decor, tablescapes, home improvement, and on-location reports that highlight American history, ingenuity, and free market capitalism that makes America great. And now, here are your hosts, Brannon and Melissa K.
All right, welcome to House. I'm Brannon.
And I'm Melissa.
All right, Melissa, what are we going to do in today's program? Oh, by the way, we haven't had a show in a while because I had to finish Siege, the docu-movie. So we're back now.
We've barely seen you.
Yeah, that's the truth. It's all my fault, not hers. So what are we going to do today?
We are going to do 3 different recipes. Brannon requested this one. And
why did I request that one?
It's one of your favorites, right?
Absolutely.
And it's a hot dip appetizer. And then this is a curried fruit. It would be more like a side dish that would be great for Thanksgiving or Christmas, and Brannon really likes this one as well. And
there's a common theme in all of our shows. Have you noticed that?
It's things you like.
The things I like, yeah.
But we're just doing some side dishes and then the appetizer.
And this would be great for Christmas.
Or
New Year's, or Thanksgiving, but we're going to be past Thanksgiving by the time they see this. But Christmas, New Year's. Now this is a hot dip.
There's always next Thanksgiving.
There is always next Thanksgiving. This is a hot dip, right?
Right, this is hot.
And we learned this from a lady in Washington State. Remember that?
And that was forever ago. That was when
we were newly married.
We didn't even have
no,
kids.
We didn't have children there. And I was
there.
That
was like 25 years ago.
Oh, more than that, babe. I was there doing a concert. We've been married 29 years this February. So I was there doing a concert in Washington State, and we stayed in their home. He was a retired firefighter. And
how do you remember all this?
I just do. And
I mean, I remember a little bit.
He
but
took
I don't
me
remember
golfing.
All that.
He took me golfing, and she took you shopping.
They had a really pretty home.
Oh, they did. Remember those? She took you shopping for the day, and he took me golfing.
And then we came home, and she made a huge dinner.
I mean, the finest dishes and everything. And she made this.
Right, she made this, and
I mean,
they loved it.
I loved it. They've got to be long gone.
Yeah,
I mean, because that's a long time ago, and they were already older folks, but just as nice, kind, gracious people you could ever meet. And she made this, so we think of her often.
Make it. Yes.
So it's great. So that's what we're going to do.
Right, and then the other one is a frozen fruit, and it's called fruit slush, and that's kind of a fun dish too for the holidays.
And you could actually hold this one upside down, right?
You might want to be careful.
Really?
It depends on how
frozen. Yeah, you can. Look at that.
It depends on how frozen it is. Stop! It might drip. But I will show you in a minute how to put all these together.
All right.
But first of all, we're going to share a fun little video.
What?
Yes.
What video are you going to show?
Well, you're just going to have to wait and see. It's a little surprise. It's a video that, it's how Brannon got his start in TV, we could say. Someone sent it to us a few months ago, and it's just...
I know what this is.
It's so adorable. We just
Really?
have to...
Is it adorable?
It is adorable.
All right, I'm glad you think so.
We have to show it. So, with that, would you like to see it?
Yes, let's show them, I guess.
Okay, let's show it.
Are you going to be a weatherman someday?
I'm thinking about it. It's a very,
You look like a weatherman.
it's a very interesting field. There's always, I've got 4 maps here. These 2 here are the extremes of heat recorded in the United States, and then the extremes of cold recorded in the United States. These are all recent records within the last year and a half. Then we have the great precipitation in 24 hours and greatest amount of snow in 24 hours. Just something, a little trivia here. This here is the Doppler radar. This is from KSTP. It's the only radar in the Twin Cities that picks up tornadoes on the ground, tornadoes in the area. The National Weather Service has a very sophisticated radar, but none that will pick up a tornado that is in the area. So this is supposed to be the sophisticated radar of the Twin Cities. And then here we have a wind chill chart. This is the speed of the wind. If it's 25 degrees, if it's blowing 25 miles per hour, the temperature is 20, then you have a wind chill of -15 and so on. There's also a...
So what do you think?
I don't know. I look
you were so cute.
I look like I need a meal. Like I was.
You were so thin. What happened?
I look like a refugee.
Yeah.
I was so thin.
You were so
thin. I married you, and you started cooking. I'm serious. I put on so much.
I would not even recognize you, to be honest.
I know. I look like a refugee.
He actually looks like
fed a meal.
He actually looks like our youngest son.
Those cheekbones, my word.
How old were you?
I was like 2 months shy of 16. What? I make you weak in the knees or what?
I just wouldn't even recognize you.
No, I know.
I'm sure most people think that too. They would not recognize
No.
that. What happened to the weatherman?
I forecast now bad news about the doom and gloom at the end of the world. You know, Jesus said that you can discern the weather, but you can't discern the times. So clearly, discerning the times is more important than the weather. So I make forecasts and predictions, and so kind of
Isn't
the same
that
thing.
interesting how
But I do. It's
you
not all
liked-
doom and gloom. It's
you-
also good
You could
news.
tell you liked being on film.
That was my first time to ever be on
But
film.
you did well.
Well, thank you. A guy walks in and puts a camera in my face at this science fair. Now, I know everyone's got a camera today with their smartphones.
But
Everybody's
most
got one.
kids at that age wouldn't do very well. I wouldn't have done well with that.
Well, thank you, hon. But I had never had a camera stuck in my face, and most dads didn't have those. That was a brand new deal then. And this guy, his daughter, who sent this to us out of the blue a few months ago.
She sent it to us a few months ago.
Yeah.
Our kids got a big kick out of
I
it.
bet they did. And she said her dad had the new technology. He was always the first to get the new technology. So to see a father walking around with a big camera on his
Kinda like
shoulder,
you are now.
kind of like, that was really, really rare. So to have someone walk up and put a cam in your face was extremely rare. So I remember that night because I was just so impressed the guy had his own camera. So that actually is my first time ever on camera. So there you go.
Oh, I just thought it was so cute. We had to show it.
It's why do you not think that when you watch my TV shows now? Cute?
You were just so young.
Well, okay, I'm gonna move
You're
on.
still cute. but-
Distinguished?
Yeah, you're distinguished.
Okay.
now. Just not cute, distinguished. I'm just joking. I'm teasing.
all right.
No, you just look so much like our son too.
Yeah, I do. Yep.
And your personality, you were way more quiet.
Then?
Yeah,
Yeah, well, I talk for a living now.
I know.
All right. So should we cook now?
Sure, which one?
That was really kind of embarrassing.
You never get embarrassed.
All right.
Don't believe him. He never gets embarrassed.
Don't believe it.
Okay, which one should we do first?
I
You
don't
wanna
care. You're in charge,
Okay,
baby.
well,
It's your show.
it's our show. This is the curried fruit. It's called curried fruit. And you actually put it in the oven. I have my little directions up here because I want to make sure I do it right. But I'm using glass bowls just so you can see like when it's layered. So first we're going to start out, and all these recipes will be
On the website at Howse to House, Howse.
So we're going to start out with, it's
TOHOUSE.
20 ounces of canned pears, and you drain all the fruit.
Okay.
Brandon actually drained the fruit.
I
don't know if
did.
you did a great job with this,
I
but-
drained the fruit.
Okay, so first the pears, and then peaches, and I don't know if this is quite 20 ounces, so you can kind of like, I think it's a few more pears than peaches, but you can really do it however you want.
It smells good.
So then the peaches go on top of the pears. There's a little bit of a pit in that one.
Was a pit in there?
Just a tiny one.
All
I just
right.
want to get that out. And then on top of the peaches, it's apricot halves, and that's supposed to be about 20-ounce can too. But you know, if you don't like one of these, if you don't like apricot halves, you could just do more peaches and pears, or you can just modify it really however you would like. Now, on top of the pears, peaches, and apricot halves, we're gonna do sliced pineapple.
Okay.
And to make it pretty, you know what? I'm gonna have to use my fingers. but
Uh-oh.
I don't think anyone will mind, right? Because they're not.
Well, they're not eating it. I'm
so.
the one eating it, so.
But you kind of layer this on top of the other fruit. And
Doing a good job.
thank you. And then on top of this, I know these aren't like super healthy, so if you want to omit these, you can. But it's the maraschino cherries, and you can put as many as you want. Calls for a jar, but I think that'd be a little too many. I just put
A jar?
calls for one bottle. But I don't think I'd use that many. I'd never do. So I just kind of set them on top of the holes of the pineapples.
It's really pretty.
And then it just makes it look real pretty. So
That's really
But you
pretty.
can add more if you want.
Wait a minute, I
but
gotta figure out what the camera is. There we go. There we go. That is really
Don't
pretty.
tip it.
Don't tip it. Try not to. It is. I did tip. I messed that one up.
It's
Sorry,
okay.
babe.
So you're fine. So you could add more cherries if you want to, or you don't even have to put them in at all. But it does add like a little bit
Now,
of
where's the? Oh, that's
extra touch.
That's the
Okay.
hot sauce.
And then this, you boil all this together. You stir it for about 10 minutes. And what it is, it's a half a cup of water, and it's a half a cup of butter, 3/4 cup brown sugar, and then 1 teaspoon or a little more, but I just did 1 teaspoon of curry. And then you pour that over the fruit.
Boy, I have to tell you, that does not look so good.
It looks like brown. I think it looks pretty.
But it's looking better. It
It's
had a
brown
green,
sugar.
a real green look to it
It's
at
probably
first.
just from the,
Do you need a spoon, babe?
probably.
It's looking
I
better. It had kind of a puke
Cooked
green
this
look
a
to
little
it,
while
but
ago,
now it looks better.
so it's gotten a little, it's not as warm. When
But
it's
when-
warm,
when
it just
you-
goes right on.
When you cook it, This is
When you
all
bake
gonna
it.
when you bake it. This is all
Right.
gonna be liquid, very very liquid, very liquid, and that's what makes this amazing. Is it
Okay, so
soaks up all that.
right. And so then once that's done, I haven't made this in a while. You bake it at 350 for 45 minutes and you serve it warm. So then like the sauce will just be all on the bottom and it'll
You
be
do this
real-
at least once or twice a year.
Yeah, but it's been a while.
All right.
I don't think I made it last year.
Really?
I don't think I did.
All right.
So that is that.
That's
the
that?
finished.
Wow.
That's the finished curried fruit.
That's awesome.
And like
That's
I
great
said,
stuff.
the website.
It's hot. They need to understand this.
It's
is
warm. You serve
it's
it warm.
It's yeah, not hot as in spicy.
No, it's-
warm. It's excellent for wintertime.
It's really good.
Anytime year round, but particularly warm time. Cold time of the year.
And it's just a different recipe. A
It
lot
is.
of
It's,
people.
and the fruit is so soft because it's baked. Yeah, I love it. If you can't tell.
Yeah, he likes it. Okay, do you want to tell him about this dip?
Well, I don't know anything about it other than it's
It's just one of his favorites.
it's
so that's-
delicious. And this we
It's
make.
not super healthy,
She makes this
but-
several times a year. Like if we're having a group of people over and hors d'oeuvres out on the counter or whatever. Particularly if you like a Super Bowl Sunday or New Year's or Christmas or
real
my
easy.
birthday or any reason I can come up with to get this. This is really good.
And
Which
what
is
it
shocking I
is-
like this because I'm not big into sour cream.
Right,
And
and
yet
it's
this
got
has
sour
got a
cream
lot of
and
sour
cream
cream in it.
cheese.
Which
But-
I don't like either one of those.
I know.
So it's really
Surprising.
weird.
Usually if he finds out that that's in it, he doesn't really like it.
Yeah, but for some
Not like that.
reason, this is amazing.
So what it is, it's a block of cream cheese and then about 8 ounces of sour cream and then some diced green pepper. And I just kind of add probably about 1/4 cup of diced green pepper. And then some minced onion, probably about a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half of minced onion. And then some dried beef. And you buy that like in the sandwich section. Just a little packet of beef sandwich meat. And you chop that up and you mix it all together and then you bake it at 350 for about 20 to 25 minutes.
Oh, it's excellent.
And you can serve it with crackers or
And
really
it's been
whatever else.
sitting here just a little bit, so it doesn't scoop up as easily right now.
Normally
as it
when
should.
it's really warm,
Boy, it just scoops right
it's
up.
more like a
Very easy dip to
Right, like-
get on your cracker.
it's kind of cold right now, so. Okay, so maybe we need to switch spots
All right. So you go in the front. I'll go this way. You go that way.
so we can show you the other.
We have a little schnauzer dog back here. I don't want to step on the dog.
They always have to be right by
Yes,
our feet.
they love us, don't they?
Okay, so this is the other one, and it's called Fruit Slush, and this is, here, you can show
All
them
right.
the finished. And my kids really like this. I think most kids would love it.
Most kids would love this. And you're getting
And-
something healthy for them.
Right, well, yeah, and you can admit,
With all the sugar.
well, you can put honey in it. You can,
Well, why would you want to do
my
that?
mom makes this, and my mom's really into health.
Is that where you got the recipe? All right.
And you can either do like a 1/2 cup to 3/4 cup sugar. I do about a 1/2 cup, or you can do honey, which is, I think, let me see my recipe. I think the honey, you don't add as much. About 1/4 cup of honey if you don't want to put sugar. But
Every time you say honey, I think you're calling me.
what? You're so funny. Okay, so what this is I wanted one frozen. So normally you make it a 9x13 pan.
It's freezing. Can I sit down?
No, you have to hold it.
I'm going to get frostbite. That's freezing.
So normally I do it a 9x13 pan, but Brannon wanted one we could show y'all.
Yeah, so we did
which
smaller, so it
is
frees
very-
faster.
Right, so I'm doing
You're
two.
getting out of the shot. We have to get you in the shot.
I'm doing 2 8x8 pans instead of the 9x13 pan. And so we could show you one finished. So what I did was I cut down, this is like half the ingredients that you'd put in the 9x13 pan, because normally you'd want to do a 9x13 pan. But I'll show you real quick what's in
What is that?
it. It's lemonade.
Lemonade.
Yes, and you do
Like
6.
country time lemonade?
No, like frozen lemonade.
Oh,
And
good thing you're the host.
it's 6 ounces, but it's only 3
Here,
for
let me
here.
help
But
with that.
I won't even tell you the ounces because it will get confusing.
What is that?
It's frozen orange juice.
Looks like egg yolk.
I know it really does. Doesn't look very appetizing right now,
Let
does
me
it?
help with that.
Okay, and then crushed pineapple in the juice.
Let me help with that.
Thank you. And then frozen strawberries. But one thing I want to say about these frozen strawberries is you need to get the ones with the sugar. I know the frozen ones with sugar, because otherwise it's just not as good. So, I mean, you could get the frozen ones that are just, they're bigger, and I don't know. I've tried it with that, and it's just not quite as good. So, and then diced or sliced bananas.
Are you going
And
to
I've
stir
even
it
had, like,
together or
frozen
anything?
strawberry-
Do you stir it?
You can stir it.
I mean, otherwise it's just going to be a clump. You do have to stir it, right?
Right.
I mean,
I've added frozen
It's your
raspberries
recipe, I'm just
before.
guessing.
No, you definitely stir it. I've added frozen raspberries before. I've added I guess that's all I've added. But if someone doesn't like bananas, you can always omit the bananas.
Colorful, isn't it?
But we're not quite done. And then you add some water. And then either the sugar or the honey. So I did sugar, but if you want to be healthier, then you can add honey.
Well, I would not think it would taste that good with this honey, to be honest with you.
I know. I think it's better with
I
the
mean,
sugar.
it's amazing, but there is a lot of sugar in there. So if you have diabetes or something, that might be a problem.
I think my mom made it with honey quite a bit, and it was really good.
Did she?
So then you just have to make sure it's stirred up really well because all the sugar on the bottom, you want to make sure that's...
So I'll stir it up. Speaking of your parents, we were just up in Rockford, Illinois, seeing your family.
We were up in...
Rockford, Illinois.
Right.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, like, a lot of people
Yeah, a
that
lot of our
follow
listeners
us,
are up in that area.
Right.
We didn't make it
They're-
over to Wisconsin. We were just a few miles from the border. But
and we
didn't-
got caught in a horrible snowstorm, which was really early for...
It was horrible.
It was 3 weeks ago this coming weekend, so we're almost to Thanksgiving, and not quite 3 weeks ago, and they had quite a bit of snow. But it wasn't just the snow; it was the ice. And it took us how long to get home?
Well, about
should have been a
29 hours because we had to stop. I mean, on Interstate
Well,
50.
that was sleeping too.
Yeah, I mean, but still, I mean,
Yeah.
it should have taken us nine and a half hours. It took us 29 by the time we left your parents' house. But it was, Interstate 57 was like an ice rink. And it took us,
We saw semis in the ditch everywhere,
Flipped.
cars all over the ditch.
semis
It was-
flipped, jackknifed.
And then by the time we finally stopped in Mount Vernon, Illinois, it was down to one lane. It had gone dark at that point, and then
snowing like anything else you can imagine, and down to one lane, 5 miles an hour.
and the semis were like blowing past everyone else.
Yeah, they
the
were
one
driving
lane.
like at a speeds that were just not even reasonable. And of course, they were jackknifed everywhere in the ditch. Going northbound, one of them jackknifed. There was 2 semis and some
There
cars.
was actually 3.
Was it really?
There was 3 on that.
See, I was driving, trying to pay attention. That one of them was jackknifed, and it was blocking the interstate.
But then there was 2 others. One was in the ditch, and then one was kind of sideways, and then one was blocking the whole interstate. There was 3.
It was a mess. And so
And
those
the traffic
folks,
was backed up.
oh yeah, they're going to be there for hours.
miles.
So what did I vow?
We'll only go back in the nice weather.
Yeah, we're, see, that's going to be basically
So we went
1
for my
month out of the year.
We went
1
for
month
my
out of the year.
nephew's wedding, and what'd you tell everyone? That
We told everybody on
They have to
a
get
group
married.
family text. I said I was the grumpy uncle at this point. Remember, this is on the way home, so I was quite grumpy at this point. And when we stopped for gas, I texted the entire family in a group message that if you expect us to be at any more weddings, you better have
he
your
was
wedding.
joking.
No, you better have your wedding in April, May. April's too soon. You still get snow up there in April. You better have your wedding in May,
Well,
June,
we thought
July,
November, the
August,
beginning. It was
or
November
September.
9th, and you'd think it would be
You would think.
okay by then, but it was the worst
It was
weather.
horrible. It was white
We used to
knuckle.
drive from
You saw
Rockford
the
to
guy
Minnesota.
behind us do a 180. And after that, he slowed up.
So we stopped at a hotel, and half the hotel was people that did the same thing.
Yes.
The hotel was packed with other people that couldn't drive any further. It was actually pretty.
It was a
It
mess.
was fun.
Oh, yeah. It was a real
I thought
treat.
it was fun.
So anyway, I don't know how
We
we
had
got off
some
on
good
that.
family
How did we get
time.
off on that? Oh, because you're talking about your mother makes this.
Yeah, we just saw my mother.
Yeah.
So it just made us think of her.
Yeah, it did. All right, so did
But-
I do a good job with that, babe?
You did. So it's very pretty, and it's just something nice to add to like a holiday meal, or you could make it anytime. And what I do is I just, obviously, you keep it in the freezer, and you can bring it out anytime you want if you have company stop by, or just with a meal if you want to add a little something extra to it. And you want to let it sit out for about 20, 25 minutes before you serve it, because then it's more
Because
at a little...
if you tried to cut
I mean,
this
that's
up-
already been sitting out for
So
probably...
let's try cutting a piece. Let's see what happens.
That's already been sitting out
Well,
for...
or you should do it.
No, you do it.
Me? Do
You're
it?
good.
You know what? That's not going to be too bad.
No,
but
that's good, because it's been sitting
look at
out
that.
about
That's
30...
horrible. That's
Here.
like crooked. No, but I just... That's horrible.
It's
See, that's
all
why you
right.
should do it.
It's okay. So
But-
this has been sitting out
But
for about...
we've pulled it out of the freezer before having company where you've forgotten to pull it out. And you need a hammer and a jackknife.
And it's hard to eat if it's not. It's better if it's a little
Yeah,
slushy.
if you've got like sensitive teeth,
And then you want to serve it in a bowl as well.
yeah, definitely in a bowl.
But that's kind of what it looks.
But the
it's
kids will
pretty
love it.
and-
It is pretty, and it's almost like having dessert, but you have it with your meal. But I guess you could serve it as a dessert.
You could serve a dessert.
But I don't even think we have another. We didn't bring a spoon in here, did we? So I'm
You
gonna use
gonna
this.
try it?
Well,
you might want to set it down so it doesn't fly
it's gonna
across
end
the
up
room.
flying across the
It's
room,
gonna-
isn't it?
See
Oh.
what we're saying when you really have to let it sit out.
Oh gosh, there it goes. Sorry, babe.
It's all right.
Oh, here, dog. Delta, Lily, have some fruit slush.
Of course, our dogs are down on the floor.
Well, that's
like
why
they
we
all-
bring them into the studio. They clean everything up.
I don't know about that.
Delta's not so sure.
They're
The
not so
Schnauzer's
sure
working
about
on it.
frozen bananas. And if it was meat, they'd be fighting down there. But
They just both turn their nose up to it. They don't want it.
it's okay.
Here we go. We'll put that right back there.
Ew.
I'm not going to eat that one.
I hope not.
Don't step in it. But it's actually delicious, hon.
Thank you.
Is this what we're having for Thanksgiving?
You weren't supposed to ask that.
Right.
It's a surprise.
Okay. See, we're filming this on the night before Thanksgiving.
Right.
Tomorrow's Thanksgiving.
Right.
Oh, is this a Thanksgiving program or is this a Christmas program?
It's both.
Okay.
These are just some good side dishes.
So this is
and
our.
the appetizer.
This is actually some of what we're gonna have for Thanksgiving tomorrow, right?
Right. It actually is.
All right.
Yes. I mean, of course, we'll have turkey. And
Yeah, it's excellent, folks. You got to try it. This is gonna be a big. This here would be a big hit. That's corned beef in there, right?
Well, it's like beef sandwich meat. Or you can do corned beef as well, whatever you prefer.
Yeah.
It's just like a package of beef sandwich meat.
So,
So-
what would you serve with these? I mean, these are not the main course. What do these go good with?
I mean, really.
I mean, this would be like an
turkey-
appetizer. So this is
Right.
like you put out, it's an appetizer
Right, before the
your
meal.
meal, which is what an appetizer is. You know.
And these would just go good with like any type of like turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, any time you have like a bigger meal with meat and potatoes or really anything and you want a little extra, something to make it a little more special, these would be good. So, yeah, or even like steak and potatoes or steak and rice or really anytime. They're a good company, something to pull out. This is a great thing to keep in the freezer, so if you have company stop by, you have something extra to add to your
So you
meal.
could make this up and leave it just kind of
That's what I do.
stored away.
And it's kind of nice to do it in 2 pans like this instead of one 9x13 because then it's just
can-
easier to pull out and then the whole thing doesn't defrost. So it's actually better to do the 2 8x8 than the 9x13.
And then the hot fruit dip. That's what about how many times can you serve this? You could just keep putting this back in the freezer for.
Yeah, you can.
But this here, you have to worry about this becoming wilted looking.
Not really wilted.
Well, whatever you call it, aged.
I mean, you probably don't want to keep it longer than 5 or 6 days in the refrigerator, but I mean, it's canned fruit, so I'm sure, and it's just sugar and
So it'll preserve pretty
butter.
well.
Yeah, it should, as long as you keep it in the refrigerator, it should
Yeah.
preserve well.
All right.
So
all
it'll
of
be-
these recipes are on your website.
They will be on my website, yes.
Now, what are we going to be doing for our next program? I mean, we had to take off for a while because of producing Siege. That just consumed me, so it was my fault, not yours. We've been getting blown up with emails and text and phone calls wanting to know when the next program is. Now, I don't know. I guess I've created a monster here because I don't get a whole lot of texts and emails asking when is the next Worldview Weekend Hour.
Yes,
but
you do.
they all want to know when is her next TV show. So you're gaining quite the following.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I think it's because of you.
No, it's not. No.
So-
It's definitely you. So what will we be doing in the next program? you
Maybe
think?
people could send in some ideas
Send in some ideas?
of different.
Maybe they could send in some of their recipes and you could look over them
Right.
and see if you want to try them.
Well, I'm working on a cookbook, so
When do you think that'll be out?
really don't know yet.
We're hoping by the
Yeah.
Ozarks conference.
So some more of those recipes we'll probably make, and
So we're hoping that by the Ozarks conference, she'll have her first cookbook out. And of course, if you want to come to our Ozarks conference and meet Melissa in person and have her sign a cookbook, you'll find out about our conference.
ready by
That's
then.
going to be
We
really
hope it'll be
interesting
ready
after
by
all
then.
these years of having you slide books in front of me to sign them. And now it's going to be me sliding a book in front of you to sign. So we're going to have to
If
role
it's done
reversal.
by then.
Yeah, oh, it'll be done by then. So if you want to find out about our Ozarks conference
we'll
coming
probably
up,
do some type of Christmas craft or something. Maybe like decorating a wreath, or
how about Tablescape
we could do a tablescape as well.
for the next show?
Sure.
Okay. And if
Yeah.
you want to find out about
With
our
live
Ozark
greenery,
conference,
I like to use a
I
lot
keep
of
trying
live-
to tell you about this Ozark conference, but go ahead, it's your show.
I was just,
Should I give them the URL to come see you in person at the Ozarks conference?
let me tell them about the live greenery.
All right, tell them about the
I
live
like to
greenery.
use a lot of live greenery for my table at Christmas time, so I just thought that'd be kind of fun to show that with a lot of ribbon and just wrapping your napkin with ribbon and then using greenery and berries and different things like that. So maybe we could do that.
Let's do that.
Okay.
All right.
And a couple recipes maybe
Yeah.
as well.
And if you want to, by the way, I don't know if I've mentioned the URL for the Ozarks conference. Have I gotten that in yet?
I don't think you have.
You can go to WVW-TV.com/Ozarks, WVW-TV.com/Ozarks, and start registering for that the first weekend of May. And Melissa will be there, and I'll be there, but apparently this is the one everyone wants to hear from
I'm
and
not sure
have their
about
next
that.
show. When is her next show coming out? So she'll be there signing cookbooks. And so if you want to come to the Ozarks conference, she'll be there at WVW-TV.com/Ozarks for more details. Delta will also be there. Won't you, Delta? Delta will be there. She might even make an appearance. And it'll be a great time. The first weekend of May, Lake of the Ozarks. Yes, thank you, girl. And we're adding a couple new things this year at our Ozarks conference. We're adding a luncheon cruise. On
Right.
Saturday, we'll do a lunch cruise.
Which we've never done anything
Never
like
done that before, other than the Branson Bell.
Okay,
But we haven't done anything like at the Ozarks like that.
Right. But that's been a while.
Yeah,
Branson
and then-
Bell was years, and
Yeah, it's been a long time. Our kids
Right.
were little when we did that.
they were babies.
And then we're on Thursday night. We're going to have a concert, dinner, a formal banquet and concert Thursday night. Some of you have asked for that. Melissa has kind of pushed me to do that. So I'll do a concert on Thursday night with a formal banquet. For those that want to attend, it'll be a Worldview Weekend Foundation event.
Well, a lot of people get there Thursday, so it'll just be something extra to do for people that are already there.
Yeah. So a nice formal
Delta.
banquet. A nice formal banquet on Thursday night. Yes, hon. Do you want to say hi? Come on up. A nice formal banquet.
Don't let her
on-
near the food.
Don't let her near the
She had to
food.
say hi to everyone.
A nice formal banquet on Thursday night, and then the Ozarks starts on Friday evening. All right. All the details will be
Brandon,
at WVW-TV.com/Ozarks. All right. So those are all the details. All right. So anyway, WVW-TV.com/Ozarks for more details. The floor is all sticky here where I dropped
wonder
the
why.
fruit slush. It's all
I
sticky.
know. I just
so have to
stepped
clean
in and I almost stuck to it.
And by the way, we're filming this in our main TV studio because it's just an awful lot of work to set the cameras up in another place. We can crank out more
He has
shows
to
if we
carry
do it
them
here.
all
I'm
home.
not
I
doing
mean, it
all
takes-
that.
it
Takes too
takes
much time.
a lot of time.
So
Hours, yeah.
We're going to do it here so we can crank out more shows. All right. So anyway, this is a fun show. You did a good job. We'll look forward to the next show. All the recipes are at Howse, HOWSETOHOUSE.com, house2house.com. Anything else we should tell them?
I can't think of anything.
Okay. And you can always email us, info@worldviewradio.com. That's a shorter URL, email address, info@worldviewradio.com. And you can also find our text information on our website as well, and check out the Facebook page for House to House and all that. So anyway, great show, very interesting, great stuff. This is actually what I'm going to be eating tomorrow, so I guess we better get it back in the refrigerator.
Yeah, we probably should.
All right.
Yeah.
And our daughter is on the swinging boom, so great job.
Yeah,
and thank you to all of you that have supported the program and encouraged her to keep doing this. It's great. And thank you for embarrassing me with that little video.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
I knew you'd like it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I knew you'd be surprised, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, till next time, I'm Brannon Howse.
And I'm Melissa Howse.
Thanks for watching. Take care.